Folks, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show. Joined here by a brilliant human being and a pretty good musician in his own right, Cal David. Welcome back, brother.
Thanks pretty much.
Thanks pretty much. The spirits have called, and he was unpredictable, and he was a little bit, he was a great musician, and I wanted you to just riff on Marty Grebb for a minute.
Marty was a great musician. He was loved by everybody, and he will definitely be missed.
Did you first connect with him up in upstate New York, or where did you find?
No, long ago.
Kansas City.
In Chicago, there was a club way out south, a place called Riverdale, and the club was called Popple's Under 21 Club. It was where we were all learning our craft, but we weren't old enough to play in the clubs. I met Marty, he was still in high school, and we put together a band with the best guys on the south side, one of whom was Peter Cetera. He was my friend in the band.
Wait, hold on, Peter lived on the south side?
Peter
Cetera lived on the south side of
He did live on the south side of Chicago. Now I think he's up in, what is it called, in Utah, Sun City?
Yeah, no, because like Butterfield and Bloomfield, Barry Goldberg and those guys, they were in the suburbs, but I was curious about who did grow up in the south side.
Well, I used to go see Marty. We rehearsed in his basement at his parents' home. And they were in Blue Island, which is like 106th and Vincennes, way out south side. And we had this band called Cal David and the Exceptions. And the Exceptions, well, eventually we dropped to Cal David. We were all rocking pretty hard back then. Peter was great. In fact, I spoke to the two surviving members other than myself. It was a four-man group. Marty's gone, so there's only the drummer, who's no longer playing, Denny Ebert. He's living in Arizona. And Peter, I spoke to Peter. He called me, actually, and we spent some time on the phone just reminiscing about the crazy stuff we used to do back then.
Was that a band that played 3 sets a night, 7 nights a week? Is that the band that occupied your time?
We were full-time.
Just project your voice a little bit louder.
We played a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were gigs, though. I mean, you got
Chicago,
paid. Yeah.
Eventually, we put together a band that could play bars, and that's the training ground. We would play 6 or 7 sets a night, 5 nights a week, and it would make me nuts to be off 2 nights. Chicago was a 5-night town, Wednesday through Sunday, and I'd always find someplace to play Monday and Tuesday. So that's why I never used to see anybody else, because we were always playing.
In our first radio interview, you mentioned this idea of the blues guys having to compete with rock and roll when people plugged in and became electric. And Junior Wells put a harp through an amplifier with his guitar. And I just want you to, love you to talk a little bit about how you learned dynamics on the bandstand, and if you think drummers should be wearing in-ear monitors today. Here's the point. Bernard Purdy told me that when you don't wear in-ear monitors, you have to listen for dynamic, and then dynamics occur. And I'm just curious, I want you to riff on that idea, because I feel like the technology today has superseded the humanity.
I myself have never had an in-ear monitor in my
Why not? Because you want the environment?
I want to feel what's going on. I mean, I know it's probably better for me to not have all that sound blasting at me, but I want to really hear what's going on. I mean, Ray Charles he didn't even have monitor speakers. He used to just listen, Way back, there used to be a place called Maxwell Street. Maxwell Street.
Chicago.
On the south, not that far south, just south of the Loop.
Phil Upchurch used to go shopping there.
So did I. There was a place called Smokey Joe's.
Great clothing, I think, down there.
The man who knows goes to Smokey Joe's.
That's what
so
it
we used
is,
to buy all our
dude.
band
That's what you
suits
said,
there.
man.
And
Smokey Joe's. That's what it is.
When the blues guys were playing on Maxwell Street, they would play in the store window. And the owner of the joint would say, "Can't you guys play a little louder? I want you to attract attention to my store." So they got amplifiers, and Junior Wells and Muddy's band was playing through an amp, and they all started playing through amps, and that's how Chicago blues was born. You know, they came up from the South. I don't think any of the Chicago blues guys originally were from Chicago. They were all from the Delta.
Absolutely.
And they came north.
So it was acoustic blues. It wasn't.
Yeah, until Maxwell Street.
Until Maxwell Street was when they plugged in.
That's when they plugged in.
I really did see Cal David breaking it down. Can you talk about what you want to hear in the environment as a leader? I remember I asked you about leadership in our first interview and said, outside of a couple of bands, I've always been the leader. And I just wonder what, without wearing in-ear monitors, so you're not obsessed about how you sound per se. You know the notes you're playing, but you're not obsessed with your sound. You want to hear the environment.
I've worked my whole life on my sound.
Dang, what's the rip on that?
My particular sound, and I'm still working on it. It's called The Quest for Tone, and I'm still questing. But
you're questing, dude. But
yeah.
I mean, did the quest change when things went from PA systems to modern stereo? Because for a long time, Illinois Speed Press, you guys were playing out of PA systems, dude. And basically, you had to create.
Did you see that band?
Dude, I was born in '78.
Oh, I guess. Yes,
I'm nowhere near that, dude.
Yeah.
But those are burning. The point is, you were playing out of antiquated stuff, and you had to generate soul through volume, through physicality and acousticity. It was a very different time, and I just wonder how you. When you say you've been questing, how that quest, the arc of that quest. I mean, are you near the end? Do you think there ever will be an end?
There's no end.
Well, how do you know?
There's never. Well, it's never going to be perfect. I'll always get a better amp. You know, I'll never get a better guitar. I've got the best guitar in the world for me. That Firebird, built in '64 by some guys that knew what they were doing. It's a great.
The one you're playing tonight?
Yeah.
'64?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool, dude.
And it's a real happening guitar. But the quest for tone, you know, it's an endless search. It could always be better. You know, I keep thinking about, should I get another pedal, or, you know, do I need to play louder, or
no,
whatever.
No, I told your keyboardist I was disappointed only in the fact that he didn't get a chance to stretch on every tune. He should be soloing on every tune. He said he'd be petrified with that. But I think I just want you guys to stretch and stretch. To me, final question I have for you, how did you learn to develop your own inner time feel to allow ultimately the drummer to play melodically within rather simplistic blues music, but make it funky?
I've been doing this for a long time. I like to say I've been doing this for a long ass time. And, you know, I look for the best guys. I always want to be I want to have guys that play better than me.
You still love being a leader.
Well, yeah, because I want them to play what I want them to play. But they do, and they know I'm not going to lead them astray. You know? So we have a really fine time up there. And
but do you ever lose? Can you? I guess for me tonight, can you pull off a Freedom Jazz Dance or put it where you want? I mean, a Crusaders tune. Or what's the closest thing to soul jazz we can get to in the second set for Jake Feinberg here with Cal David?
We could do all.
Or Rhinestone's gig.
Yeah.
Or Rhinestone's tune.
Yeah.
What do you
Thanks,
think?
Man. I think we'll probably stick with the more danceable songs that, you know, don't last way too long.
Right.
At this engagement, but sometimes in a concert we might break into just like an extended jam.
I think all I'm saying is, before I let you go, I want to say thank you for recognizing, getting the memo about being a real human being. Thank you for getting the memo that you are merely a conduit for the music, that you're only partially responsible for what comes out of your apparatus, and for healing so many people over the years. And if you can get into a free jam tonight for Jake Feinberg, I wouldn't complain.
Jake, that's so nice of you to say. I sure appreciate it, and I appreciate all the questions, and I hope I've answered them.
Definitely not. We got to go. Cal David, take care, brother.
Take care.